you guys. I appreciate you having me. Since I've been here in Maine, I'm from New York, but since I've been here in Maine, I've been really impressed with the Maine coaches, and you guys are very involved, and I think it's great, and I think it's pushing the sport, and keep doing what you guys are doing, and anything that we could ever do up here at Husson, we'd love to help you out. So I've been the offense coordinator for 2 years here at Husson. I put my email and my Twitter up there, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out or post them in the chat. We're just going to talk a little bit about some of our base offense today. Sorry, there's not going to be anything revolutionary, but some easy concepts, some things that we have a lot of success with in our program. We got a lot of starters from Maine. I don't know what that block is up there, but we've got some great players. You're going to see a lot of Tyler Halls from Lisbon today. He's an outstanding player for us. He had an outstanding season. Actually broke a lot of records for us this year. He's got one more year, so we're really excited about that. Our offensive philosophy, number one, we've got to protect the football. And I think that goes without saying. Teams that win the turnover battle typically win the game. It's a really high percentage. We want to keep it simple. We want our guys to play fast. If there's confusion, they're just not going to play as well. They're going to play hesitant. They're going to they're not going to cut it loose like we always say. We're going to control and dictate the tempo of the game. So we want to stay on schedule. We want to control the clock. For us, staying on schedule means having positive yards on first down. Getting ourselves set up with third and shorts. We all know how tough those third and longs can be. We want to control the clock. We want to have the ball a lot longer than the other team. We want to be explosive. We don't want to have an entire game of all 12, 13, 14 play drives. We want to have some big plays too. Really deflate the other team, deflate the defense, away games especially, quiet down the fans, all those types of things. We want to be explosive. We want to be balanced and unpredictable. All right, so when we talk about balance, we talk about by down and distance and by distribution of the ball. Okay, so we don't mean we want to be 50-50 at the end of the game, run pass. What we mean is situationally, first and 10, we want to be balanced. Third and short, we want to be balanced. And we want to make sure that we're hard to prepare for because there's no clear tendencies for teams. And when we say distribution of the ball, we want to make sure that we're getting our best players the ball. Selfless, we're going to be a selfless team offensively. All right, I don't think there's anything more disheartening than, you see some of these NFL games where there's a great play and you see the best player walking off the field not celebrating with his teammates. For us, we want to make sure that everybody's excited for everybody else and that there's no selfish feelings. I think especially working with quarterbacks and wide receivers, that wide receiver room sometimes could be, a tough room when it comes to being selfish. So that's something that we're always is a focus in those meetings, is a focus on game days, all those types of things. I think Coach Clark does a really good job in our Monday meetings when we're kind of recapping the game. We never really talk about statistics. We never really talk about individuals. We always talk about what we did as a unit, offensively and defensively and special teams. So, it's something we absolutely believe in, and we got to play with discipline. You can't have penalties, can't have sacks, can't have negative plays. Now, this year we threw the ball probably a little bit more than we would have liked to, and to credit that offensive line, we were outstanding this year when it comes to sacks. We actually we allowed 9 sacks and 328 pass attempts, which is phenomenal. Offensively, we certainly would like to bump up all these numbers this coming year. Certainly want to score more points. We really want to close that gap. We threw for a decent amount and we didn't run for enough. We'd like to be a little bit more balanced with the yards gained there. Average time of possession, I thought we did a good job this year, but I think there's, if we could run the ball a little bit better, that number will improve as well. Now, this is a pass presentation, so we're going to talk just a little bit about the quarterback. These are things that we talk about with the quarterbacks that I challenge you guys to think of one great quarterback that didn't have all 7 of these things. And so these are things that we talk about with the quarterbacks all the time. Number one, attention to detail. Always talking about how, maybe just a little bit different angle with that last step on a drop might make a big difference. Little things like that. Competitiveness, every day in practice, competing, confidence, decision-making. We spend a lot of time talking about what it means to be a leader, and we always talk to those guys about playing with a great sense of urgency. the quarterback is the guy that runs out onto the field, and if he doesn't believe in it and he doesn't have any urgency, the other guys aren't going to either. So, every drill and practice, if the quarterback doesn't run out the right way, he's going to hear about it. All those types of things. We want guys excited, and we want guys fired up to get in the huddle with those guys. And then toughness, not just physically being able to take shots, but mentally tough enough to handle all the highs and lows that happen in a football game, and be able to handle myself and Coach Clark yelling at them, throughout practice, throughout the games. They got to be mentally tough. So those are the 7 things we harp on all the time with those quarterbacks. Pass game philosophy, number 1, keep it simple. I mentioned this already once. It's super important to me is we want it to be super simple for the guys. We want the guys to be confident, running out there and knowing exactly what the heck they're doing. And I think that's, maybe even better, more important for the quarterback. A lot of things we do in the pass game, we're going to have it a one guy that quarterback's reading. And we'll get into that a little bit when I start showing some film. But we want it to be very simple for the quarterback, no confusion on what his read is, what his job responsibility is. We want to make sure he knows what's going on. We want to create favorable matchups. All right, we'll do this by scheme, and we'll do this by formation. We're going to play the numbers game. And what that means is we want to create situations where we have the defense outnumbered, okay? If they're not loading, they're emptying the box, we're going to run the football. We're going to play a numbers game that way. If they're loading the box, we're going to find out which side of the field, what half the field is light, and we're going to attack that half of the field. And number 4, I think a lot of times you see guys in football, a lot of coaches talk about how great their scheme is and all those types of things, but it comes down to get your guys the ball and let them play to their strengths. Feed the studs. That might be our number 1 here at Husson. We're going to get our best guys the ball, and we're going to get them the ball in ways that's going to be good for them. All right. My internet's been terrible here, so I apologize if I cut out. So here's our first package we're going to talk about is our drag package, okay? When we call a drag play, you're going to hear a formation, you're going to hear one of the receivers tagged, and you're going to hear drag right after. So an example right here up on the screen is right in, Y drag, okay? What that tells us is 3 things. Number 1, the Y is going to run a drag. And for us, the drag is not about getting to 5 yards or running a route to a specific spot on the field. It's about getting across the football flat, okay, and getting all the way over here to this other side of the field before these backers could jump them, okay? For the dig, now, so the first guy that the drag crosses is going to run a dig. So in this case, he's running we have wide drag call. He gets to the J is going to run a dig. In our offense, we call that a 6, okay? Everybody else is going to run a 9. So everyone else is going to run a go, all right? For the quarterback, this is very simple because his read is always going to be the backer over the dig. Anytime he hears drag package play called, he's got the backer over the dig. So it doesn't matter if we have a guy outside leverage, inside leverage, whoever it is closest to this dig, that's his read. Now, if he carries the dig, we're gonna run this thing in a way where we get across the ball so fast that these inside linebackers can't chase it. So as soon as this backer over the dig chases the dig or gets depth with the dig, we're going to throw that thing to the drag, and he's going to have some space to run. Now, if this backer jumps on the drag, we're going to throw that dig right in behind him. Okay. Here's another example of it. Now the X is going to cut a split down a little bit off the hash because he's got to get all the way over here. But here's what we call pairs right switch, X drag. So the pairs right switch is the formation, gets everybody lined up. Then you hear X drag. You cut a split down, get across the ball right now. Again, it's not about getting to 5 yards. It's not about putting a really good route on this guy. It's about getting across the ball, making it an easy read for the quarterback. We want him to get over here to the other side of the field before these inside linebackers can figure out what's going on, okay? Again, the first guy he gets to is the Z, so the Z is going to run the dig. Everybody else has 9s or goes, okay? Now, Coach, please let me know if this film's cutting out, if I need to do something different here. I want to make sure everybody can see it. All right, so here we have left in, and it's just a light play action. We call it Indy. Probably not a good enough job here by the quarterback, but we have wide drag called, okay? So the Y's got the drag, the tight end here. He's going to run the drag, and then the next guy is the J. he's going to run the dig. Okay, we run those digs between 12 and 15 yards. Now it could change depending on how the defense is playing it, but really we're just looking to get into this hole. So if we have any kind of zone, the big coaching point for the J or for whoever it is running the dig is he's got to get an outside release on that backer that's playing over him and then get to at least 12 yards and find that hole in between those windows. We tell these guys on these digs, never run through an open window. Okay, the reason he's going to go outside release, even if this guy's playing outside leverage against zone, that is, man, we'll run a little bit different. But against zone, he's going to get outside release no matter what, because what happens is now this guy has to widen with him. Okay, it's going to create a bigger window. And the other thing it does is this guy now turns his head away because he's running with the dig, so he doesn't see this drag coming across. Let me clear that out. Now, if the dig came underneath, what would happen is this window is not as big. This window right here is not as big, and he's going to see that drag, so he's going to jump off, take the drag, and these guys aren't going to have as much space to sit. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So even if it doesn't look like a good route here by the J, he's taking that outside backer away from the play. Right? He's caught up, he's covered, but what that does is it opens up the tight end, and we get an easy 6, 7, 8 yards. You know, a lot of times you'll see these guys break a tackle or have a little bit more space. He gets caught up here with the defensive end. Now, if he doesn't get caught up there, that's a bad job by him off the line. What we talk about is he's going to take one step when he has a defensive end inside leverage. He's going to take one step and then come flat off of his heels. He doesn't do that here. He gets caught up, slows it down, and what that does is it allows this inside linebacker to see it. Typically, he's catching the ball over here by himself. Okay, so that's wide drag. See another look at it here. Now, I mentioned it's a little bit different when it's man-to-man. If he feels this guy's playing man-to-man on him, what he's going to do is now he's got to take his best release. He's got to get leverage and get open, okay? The quarterback knows when he gets man-to-man, he's going to take whatever matchup he likes better. So we get man-to-man out here. He likes that matchup with Keyshawn. Throw that thing, get leverage, get him on your back. You know, once we have leverage, we're open. So that quarterback, as long as he throws it away from that defender, he's open. Our quarterback here, Dave Morrison, does a really good job on this throw. It's a good job anticipating it. Now here's one of our spread sets. We call this pairs right switch. Now we're going to have Z drag. Here's our Z. He's going to run the drag. He's got to run that thing flat on the dig. We're going to run outside. Our quarterback, again, his read is backer over the dig. Now there's not a backer right over the dig this time. So he's going to look at that next guy. That's going to be his read. Now, if this guy gains depth, we're going to throw that thing to the drag right now. If he runs with the drag, what that's going to do is create a big window for this dig to sit in behind. So you see clearly he's getting some depth. Quarterback sees it. Now it's just an easy catch and run. What we're doing here, what we're really doing is we're lined up. We have one receiver, 2 receivers. Nobody outside the box. We got one defender out here on the hash. So we have a 2-over-2. And what we do is we put a third guy in there, and it's impossible to cover unless these backers sniff it out. But the way we run that route, we want to get there before they can see it. We run this concept maybe once a drive here at Husson, and it's just because it's so easy. It's such an easy read for the quarterback, and it really allows us opportunities to get our guys the ball out in space. You see Dave, the quarterback here, you can see where his eyes go right away. He's figuring out what that backer's doing. As soon as he sees him bail out, he comes back, gets his eyes on the receiver, throws that thing on time. Here we go, a Z drag again. Now we have man-to-man. Okay, so you see Pat is trying to figure it out. As soon as he sees it's man-to-man, he's going to run it inside, snap it on the post, and then snap it flat. And again, our Z is going to go get across the ball right now. He clearly carries that dig. Quarterback sees it, and there's no one left now to cover that Z coming across. Kid makes a great play, otherwise this might be a touchdown. I'm not sure if that film's cutting out for you guys or not. I'll go slow-mo here on some of these. But again, just get our best guys the ball in space. See Dave right here. He's getting his eyes over on that backer. He sees that backer goes. Hang in the pocket. Control the chaos we talk about with the quarterbacks. Don't let it control you. See his eyes, keep his eyes downfield. Doesn't matter what's going on around him. Get that ball out. Get that ball to our guys. Let's go make a play. Here we go again against UMass Dartmouth again. We're a little bit too deep here. He's just lined up way too deep here. He should be right at 1 yard. But again, it's just really, really difficult for these guys to cover. What it does, you know, we run this switch formation. What that does is it puts our tight end out here as a wide guy, and it puts probably our most dynamic player right here in the slot matched up against a safety or an outside linebacker instead of matched up against a corner. So that's just a great matchup for us. If they want to try to cover that man-to-man, good. Let them. Just can't run with them. So now we've got X drag. Now it's the same thing, just the other way. Again, we're going to read that backer over the dig. There's no backer right over him. We have a 2/2, so we love that. We love putting a third guy into that 2/2. We have the dig coming here. The outside guy is going to run a go and clear out that corner. Okay, so we're reading that back over the dig. See it this time. He just gets a ton of depth. Again, it's just an easy completion for us. We got 3 guys over there. They only have 2. Okay, the big thing, guys, is if this guy gets caught up and tries to gain depth and then come across, it's not going to work. It's only going to work if he steps flat. We talk about step through the heels of the defensive end. So his aiming point's right here, and he's just got to get across the ball so he has room to catch and run. If he gains depth, if he tries to get some depth and then come across, it's not going to be fast enough. It's not going to work. Right? We want him to get there before number 34 here figures out what's going on. All right. A lot of times their team's adjustments are they're gonna chase with that backer. But he gets there before he realizes what's happening. Big play. Now, the other thing too, I forgot to mention on the last clip here, is this X. He's got to get all the way across the field. Okay, so we have this X drag called again. He's got to get all the way across the field. His typical alignment on this formation is on the hash, but when we have X drag called, he knows he's got to get across the ball. He's going to cut that split down. Okay, that's going to allow him to get to this spot before these 2 guys figure out what the heck's going on. All right, first guy crosses is the Z on the dig. Here we go. Quarterback, you know, this guy's showing he's showing blitz here. Luckily, our quarterback sees him here, but these guys flatten off and don't gain any depth. The quarterback immediately knows he's going to go find that hole. The Z's job now, whoever's running this dig, his job is to find that open hole. All right, he's not going to keep running. He's going to settle down in that hole, and he's going to make it a throwing lane for that quarterback. So he does a really nice job finding it. Quarterback does a great job seeing it, and we get a first down. You can see it from here a little bit better. See this huge hole. These guys want to flatten off. Well, the quarterback sees it. There's a huge hole right here. Throw that thing right in there. Again, now we have X drag again. Got the dig coming in behind it. Quarterback's going to read the backer over the dig. He's reading this guy right here. This time he makes it super easy on him. He doesn't gain any depth. He pretends that dig's not even there. Quarterback sees it. Easy completion. I think this is the last look at it here. Again, we talked about it. It's important for this guy who's running the dig to get an outside release and then come back in it. Here's a great example of why. Now he gets this backer to widen. All right, so now it creates a bigger hole here. And now this backer can't see this drag coming across the field. Drag gets his head taken off there. But again, we created that huge window there. Makes it a really easy throw and catch for the quarterback and the receiver. Now here's out of a different formation. This one's called J drag. Okay. What's nice about this drag package, it's one of the first things we put in for our guys, and we could run the drag package out of every formation because, again, the rules are simple. Number 1, tag receiver runs a drag. Number 2, the first guy he crosses is going to run a 6 or a dig. Everybody else is going to run a go. All right, so 5 receiver set, doesn't matter. We know what's going on. We're going to read the backer over the dig. He clearly gets a ton of depth. Throw that thing. Easy completion. You know, playing to our strengths. We know Keyshawn here is unbelievable with the ball in his hands. He's going to break a lot of tackles. He's going to get a lot of yards after the catch. So even on 3rd and 8, we feel comfortable if we get him the ball in space, he's going to get us that 8 yards that we need. And he came through time and time again. Play to our guys' strengths. This play is successful. It has nothing to do with scheme. It has everything to do with just getting our guys the ball and you know, in the situations that they're great in. Here we go. Now a little wrinkle to it is we call long drag. Okay, so typically it's just Z drag. Okay, but when we call long drag, what that does is it's going to skip one guy. So if we called Z drag, that means the Z would be running the drag and the Y would be running the dig in this case. Okay, but when we call long drag, it's going to skip the first guy and it's going to go to the second guy. So this is going to look a lot like Y drag, where we have one guy dragging from the right side, and then we have the next guy running the dig from the left side. The rules are the same for the quarterback, so it keeps everything simple for him. Okay, he's going to cover the backer. He's going to read the backer over the dig. So whoever it is over here, it's going to look, you know, very similar. So we've got Z long drag. There's the drag. Skips the tight end, so the tight end will still have a go, and we'll run the dig in behind it. You can see he settles down right away and looks for that drag. That's what happens with these teams. When they see this on film, they get tired of seeing these easy completions, so these guys get a little over-aggressive, right? Quarterback sees it because that's where his eyes are right off the snap. You can see he's looking at that outside backer right away. As soon as he jumps it, the ball comes out of his hands. Does a really good job. A lot of playing quarterback is about eye discipline. He sees it right away. Great. Easy completion. Here's another look at it. Z drag coming across. We got the J again on the dig here. You can see this outside backer that we're reading never really gains any depth. Kind of widens out, creates this huge hole. Quarterback sees it, rips that thing right in there. Another wrinkle we have to this is the dump, okay? So once teams start getting beat up by this a little bit, what they'll do is they'll match up somebody on this side of the field. So maybe it's the corner in this case when it's the outside guy running the drag. What they'll do is they'll chase it with that corner, and what that does is leaves a huge vacancy over here where there's nobody left covering it. So once we see teams start adjusting to it that way, we'll leak the tailback out. And, you know, it seemed like every time we ran that this year, it ended up being a big play. So again, we've got Z long drag here. He's going to run the drag. We have the dig, and we saw that he started chasing it. So as soon as we see that, we go to this dump. Now all the dump is we really want that back to kind of get lost in the shuffle in here, get to 2 yards and run that thing flat. We say 2 yards because what that does is it gives him space where once he catches the ball, he could turn. He's not going to get ear-holed right away. If he gets to 5 yards, he might get hit right away. At 2 yards, it's not going to happen. He'll have time to get his head around, make somebody miss. But you can see they chase it. They don't stay honest. They don't keep anybody home, and we take advantage of it. Another look at dump here. This time we've got the inside guy running the drag. This backer's going to chase him. We'll run the dig in behind it. And then our back's going to get lost in the shuffle here, get out to 2 yards, and leak out to the flats. Again, they just forget about him. It's a great job out here by our outside receiver blocking all the way down the field. Really working hard. We really want these guys to work hard in run blocking and helping their fellow receivers out or anybody catches the ball. One more look at dump here. This time we have the Y running the drag. You know, we saw that this inside backer was getting over aggressive chasing him. He runs with him, leaves nobody left out here in the flats. Again, it's just a really easy concept. There's no confusion for anybody. You know, and we get an easy first down there. Next concept we'll talk about here. You know, if anybody has any questions on anything we've talked about, please hit the chat box there. But the next thing, probably our second biggest concept we run is any kind of smash concept. Okay, and what we're doing here is we're just trying to high-low the corner. Now, a lot of teams will run a hitch with a corner behind it. We like what we call the U route. And what that is really just an extended hitch here. Just gets a little bit wider, a little bit deeper. It gets to 6 yards, okay? And then what's nice about it is if this guy is now covered, he'll work back underneath, okay? We tell these outside guys when they're running this U route that doesn't matter, you know, if they're covered, they're going to work underneath. Doesn't matter what's happening, they're going to stay at 6 yards, okay? They're never going to work upfield. They're never going to work back to the ball. They're going to stay at 6 yards no matter what's happening. Okay, what that does is, you know, if it's some kind of man-to-man and they work back underneath, that corner is going to go with them. And it's just going to create space for us to throw the ball over that corner's head. But again, super easy read for the quarterback. He's just going to read that corner. If that corner bails out, he's going to throw it underneath. Okay, if that corner stays tight, he's going to throw the corner route over his head. All right. The other reason we run this extended hitch is a lot of times, you know, against 3 deep teams, what happens is that corner bails, and then this outside backer, this overhang player works to the flats. Now, if he runs just a hitch, this outside backer a lot of times could get out there and cover it. But it's this extended hitch makes it just a little harder for those guys to get all the way out there and cover it. We'll run smash a couple different ways. We'll run it with a snag in a corner route. All right, so the reason we do this, if it is some kind of man-to-man, when that outside guy goes right now and it's man-to-man, it's a quicker read for the quarterback. He's going to see that corner drive on it right now, trying to take away slant, trying to take away our drag package, okay? Where when we go vertical off of our release, it just takes a half second longer for that quarterback to be able to make his read. Again, everything we do is we want to make it simple. We want to make it easy for our quarterback. All right, we'll also run out corner. We'll very rarely run it hitch corner, but we'll run out corner, we'll run snag corner, we'll run U corner. All right. Some clips here. Should be smashed. You should see this guy get all the way to the sidelines. If he's covered, he'll work back underneath, and we'll run that corner route behind it. Now, for our quarterback, anytime we have a mirrored route concept, he's going to look and he's going to figure out where we have numbers, okay? We're going to play the numbers in our pass game. So over here, we count this as 2 receivers and 2 receivers. It's balanced. It's a 2-by-2 set, okay? And then we see we have 1 corner. We have a safety, and we don't count him because he's inside the box. So we have a 2-over-2 over here. He's outside the box, so we'll count him. Obviously, the corner. We have the safety. So right away, our quarterback's going to go to this 2-over-2 side. We like that matchup. We like those numbers, okay? Quarterback's automatically go to that 2-by-2 side. You get his eyes on that corner. As soon as the corner stays down, we'll throw the thing right behind him. Again, very simple read. There's no confusion for our guys. Get that ball out of our hands, get it to the open guy. Another look at smash here. Quarterback likes this side better this time. Outside guy runs a snag. Now the snag, when we have man-to-man, it's going to be a little bit different route. He's really going to sell it, right? He's going to try to get that guy that's covering a man-to-man to chase it, and then we'll come back out, get open, okay? When he knows it's zone, his job isn't to take that thing deep. What it is he wants to get back outside so we can make this read and get him the ball. So he sees that, doesn't run a great route, but he's not supposed to. He's supposed to get back outside, get away from that outside linebacker who's the guy that can take it away. Quarterback does a really good job with a quick decision here. He sees that corner's clearly bailed out. Just get the ball out of our hands before that backer could get there, get a first down. Move the chains. Another look at smash here. We got 2-over-2. We really got a 3-over-2 over here because the safety's cheated this way. So we're going to take the 2-over-2 side. All right. Looks like man to me. Quarterback's going to read this corner. Stays down with him. I'd like to see a little bit better route by the tight end here. Avoid some contact, but he's big body, and this is what he does really well. He likes to bully these guys and does a good job creating some separation with some contact and first down. One more look at smash here. This time we get a man free, so it's really balanced both ways. Quarterback decides he likes that matchup with our slot receiver there. Again, another big body, get leverage, go make the play. This is what Keyshawn does well. Keyshawn goes up and catches it with guys on his back, right? So we're not going to run a lot of deep routes where he's got to try to create space. We're going to get him the ball where we know he's really good. Again, breaking tackles and using his body, using his size to make plays. But again, it's just an easy read for the quarterback. He's reading this corner, clearly stays down, throw it over his head. Another look here. Quarterback sees clearly 3 deep. You can see a pre-snap, so he knows he's really got to get this thing out of his hands quick, right? Because he's got to get it out of his hands before this guy gets all the way over to the flats. Turns, gets it. Wish we could have kept our feet there, but it's a good job. Really, really quick decision by the quarterback, right? No confusion. He knows the read. He knows the corner's bailing out, right? Get that thing out of our hands. Not 3 deep here, but he's playing a soft quarters here with the corner. I really like this one. We're getting man-to-man, and there's kind of a really good example of the route here and a really not good example of the route here, okay? When we run these corner routes against man-to-man, we want to work for a stack. And what that means is we want to try to get right on top of this defender, really get him to climb, give him a stick, and go. Now, we don't have as much time here because we've got to get that thing out of our hands. But you can see Tyler gets head up. He snaps it by him. And then he starts working on top of him, getting this defender's momentum running this way. All right, make him think that vertical route's coming, and then snap it flat. Get out of the break. The ball's on time. He does a really good job. Now, on the other side here, we have too much contact. All right, this receiver never gets head up on the defender, never tries to snap it around him, never works to get that stack back, never really gives him a good stick and go. What he does is he just admits defeat really and says, okay, I don't have leverage, and tries to go inside. And that just doesn't work well for our guys. We want to get leverage as soon as we can. But it's a really good rep for Tyler. Snaps it by him, gives him a good stick, gets out of his break, and makes the play. Here's the snag corner. Quarterback just maybe a little bit too quick here, but he sees the corner's bailing, and he sees he has some space, gets that thing out of his hands. Okay, so we run a lot of smash, and what's nice about smash is there's a lot of things that we could do off of it. All right, I'm just going to go here. I'm going to go to the play, talk about it a little bit. When we run smash, we really like it against any team that's playing one high because we feel like we just have good numbers, and we can really put that corner in a predicament. Really could put 2-on-1 for him. What we really like is when teams go too high, especially as wide as he is what that does is that really opens up the middle of the field. Now, you guys already saw Tyler catch a couple passes against these guys just running smash, running that corner route, okay? But now here, we've hit him with that a few times. Now what we're going to do is we're going to run Z post, okay? So we have smash Z post. This is a look that they didn't give us very many times. We didn't see it on film at all. So what we ended up doing here is we actually had a different play called. We saw that they lined up, and those safeties lined it up so wide. You see our quarterback's going to know right away. He's going to get a little help from the sidelines, but he's going to know right away that, geez, they're not covering the middle of the field. Okay. So what we're going to do is we still have we're going to go to smash. Okay. But now the only adjustment we're going to make is he's going to this Z here is going to get head up, kind of attack this defender's outside shoulder, and then snap it on the post. And we're going to have a ton of space here to make that throw. All right. The biggest coaching point on this is this receiver right here has got to get the attention of the safety so the safety doesn't leak to the middle of the field and take the play away. All right. To help him out, the quarterback doesn't do a very good job of that on this play, but to help him out, quarterback's got to stare it this way to we really want to get that safety to go. Okay. We want to get this safety to leave the hash, create a lot of space in the middle of the field. All right. So you see the quarterback, he gets the check from the sideline, gets everybody in the right play. We have that whole middle of the field. These guys have got beaten by corners so many times already at this point in the game that this was our adjustment to their adjustment. It's important for us to always have an adjustment to whatever adjustments, we anticipate they might make. I really like watching the route here from the tight. You could see that Tyler's really going to try to work to get to his outside shoulder before he snaps it. Okay, that way it's going to create a little bit more space, and it's also going to make this defender nervous. If you could get yourself a two-way go, meaning we could get square on him, we get lined up with him. Now he's got to worry about the corner and he's got to worry about the post. we just run straight over alignment, he'd kind of turn open his hips. He doesn't really worry about that corner route because he already has leverage on that route. You see Tyler gets head up, attacks that outside shoulder, snaps it, and he's got no shot. He's got no chance. Easy completion, easy touchdown. Now it's a little bit different look. This time we tag the Z. It's a similar situation, but now we're going to tag him on a dig instead. Okay. It's off of our smash concept. So terrible drawing right there. Still off of our smash concept. Okay. Still this receiver's responsibility to pull this safety off the hash. Still have the U route out here. Okay. But now he's going to get inside leverage. He's going to flatten it off on the dig. There's a few wrinkles you could go to here in this smash package that's going to make it easy for you to open up some other things. The other one we like a lot is this trail route. So what that is the outside guy. So we'll have smash call. The outside guy is going to burst inside. He's going to cut a split down a little bit. He's going to burst inside. He's going to get in a trail position. So he'll be about 3-4 yards behind that tight end or whoever that inside guy is. As soon as that guy goes first, as soon as that inside guy breaks off on the corner route, we're going to snap it underneath on the basically on a post. Okay, but we call this the trail route. So here we've got corner route here. Again, it's crucial for this guy to pull off that safety, create some space in the middle of the field. We still have smash out here. All right, now he's going to trail behind, climb vertical, snap, get leverage. Okay, this is our big body tight end. He's 6'6" and 260. He can really run, so obviously that helps here. But we get that big body matched up on a safety with leverage. That's tough to cover. It's gonna be really tough for anybody to defend. Got one more look at that. Got the corner route coming from here. Got the trail route coming from here. Up top, we've got the corner pulling off that safety. Again, we create leverage and we create, really an easy throw and we make the most of our tight end strengths here. He's great with guys draped all over him, trying to break up passes. He's just big and he uses his body well. So we know that he's the guy that we want to put on these types of routes. Now here's our I know it looks like a big mess here, but here's our max protect, 2-back, throw it deep. When you see us take deep shots, it's typically going to be out of this look. So what I did here is I drew all these different routes, and these are different options of routes that we might run. Okay, but what stays firm is when we call Portland, this inside receiver. Now it could be the J here. The slot receiver in a twins open type look, or it could be a pro set look where it's a tight end. But either way, that inside receiver is going to have the same route. So what he's doing, his job really is to go pull this free safety, keep that free safety occupied. And what that does for us is it's going to create one-on-one opportunities on the outside. Okay, so we love doing this. All right. What we love about 2-back stuff is it's tough for defenses. They got to make a decision here. Are they going to load up the box against run and let us have some one-on-one matchups, or are they going to play a too high safety look and let us run the football? And so we run this a few times a game because it really forces them to make some decisions. All right, so here we are. We're in pro right, and we're running what we call Portland all goes, and really it's Portland 9s. Okay, what that means is he's running vertical, and this tight end is going to run right at whoever that deep third safety is to keep that guy occupied. All right, what we do with our backs, let me backtrack a little bit. What we do with our backs is we want to make sure we have some kind of outlet for the quarterback. So if we don't get what we thought and we're not open down the field, the progression for the quarterback when we're running these plays is deep to the dump to the run. Okay. And Portland is max protect. It's a 7-man protection. But what happens, for the tight end, if there's an outside pressure, he's going to take it. If there's no outside pressure, he's going to run a route to the flats. The tailback, he's going to look for any A-gap pressure. If there's pressure, he's going to take it. If we have a backer blitz, he's going to take it. If not, he's going to run to the flats the other way. All right? And what that does is it gives us an outlet. The other thing you'll see is these outside linebackers sometimes want to sprint out me go to the clip here. You'll see sometimes these guys want to sprint out because we run this formation enough where they're worried about these comebacks. All right. So if he flies out, he's worried about the comeback. Now all of a sudden we get that tight end and he leaks to the flats. There's no one left to cover him. All right. So what it does is it keeps this guy honest. All right. It prevents him from taking advantage of some of other stuff. Now they don't always go out, but a lot of times you'll see the backs will get out. If they feel like they need to help, they'll stay in and help. If they don't, they'll get out. So we max protect. When we max protect, the thing the receivers know is they have a little bit more time. They have a little bit more freedom, a little bit more creativity with their routes. All right. When we're not max protect, they know they got to get to spots. They got to make their decisions quick. But when we max protect, they have a little bit more time. So you see Tyler here. You know, he knows we've hit this guy on a couple comebacks, a couple shorter routes. So he kind of puts the brakes on a little bit, just gives him a little move, and you see this corner here. He breaks down and gets ready to drive on it. Next thing you know, it's too late. So really, you know, when you see us running this two-back Portland, we're trying to create these matchups, get our guys one-on-one. All right. We're very efficient in this, where we might not complete, you know, 85% of our passes with these deep throws. But we very rarely, knock on wood here. Of course, we'll go out and throw 20 picks on it next year, but we typically protect the football very well with this. Again, it's really simple for the quarterback. It's one-on-one. So it's typically an easier throw. He's not trying to throw in windows. He's not trying to throw, you know, in certain spots. He's really just getting that thing out there, letting our guys make plays. Here we go again against – it's a pro set. Tight end gets caught up. You see the tight end, he feels like he needs to help the tackle here. Probably doesn't, but he feels like he needs to, so he helps the tackle. You do see our tailback gets out to the flats to the left. But what's most important is you get this tight end holding the safety, and now this corner is left on an island. So really a fantastic job here by Tyler Halls, again, from Lisbon here, going up and making the play. One thing I would like him to do better here, he gives him a little move. That's great. I'd like him to be a little bit more aggressive here, trying to get on top, working for that stack. He doesn't punch. He doesn't punch well enough on this play. He doesn't knock number 3's hands off him. But you can see once that ball's in the air, he realizes, okay, I didn't really get that stack that I needed. You see right at that last second, he really pushes to get on top, and now he's got the opportunity to go up and catch it. This is just something that he does incredibly well. You know, probably as good as anyone we've ever had here at Husson, and so we throw these types of passes to him quite a bit. He's special at this type of stuff. There's a huge play in that game. Quarterback for him, I really don't care what he does with his eyes on all goes. You know, pick his matchup, make sure he throws a good throw. That's what he's got to do there. Here we go again, all goes. It was a rough day for this corner. They bring the heat, leave us one-on-one. Quarterback sees the heat coming, gets the ball out of his hands. Just another opportunity for that one-on-one matchup. So I got losing the film. Oh, here we go. Now we've got double post. Now we've got double post here. So what we're doing, same route for this inside guy. His job is to hold that free safety. Okay, backside he's running a go route. Our play action's the same, but now we're one-on-one right here. Again, he's left on an island because they're playing one high, and he has to cover the slash. Now the quarterback on double post, he's going to read this guy. If he doesn't cover the slash, we're going to throw it. Okay, if he does, we're one-on-one, and he is running a post, and he has a lot of time. So what he's going to do is what we call the weave. He's going to get head up on this defender. He's going to attack his inside shoulder. He's going to attack his outside shoulder, and then he's going to run the post. Okay, he's going to try to twist him all up. He's got some time. We're max protect. See if we can't get him to turn. With this technique, it's hard to get these guys to turn. They're already facing inside, more like a skate technique. But what we could still do is we could still work that outside shoulder, get him to widen and create some more space in the middle of the field. So you can see Tyler here gets head up, attacks his inside shoulder, attacks his outside shoulder, gets him to widen. We're a little bit late on the throw here. This should be 6. The quarterback's just a hair late on the throw, pulling the trigger. What I really like about this, though, is Tyler gets to a great spot, runs a really nice route. But our inside receiver here is working really hard to hold this free safety. And without that, we're now one-on-one. You see him, he's running right through his hip, holding him, and we're in great shape there. A lot of space to make that throw. Again, it's just got to come out of our hands right now. You know, the ball should be out right now. We got to anticipate that throw. As soon as he comes out of his break, get that thing out. But he's just, like I said, just a hair late and makes it harder than it needs to be there. So that was double post. Now we have double post, what we call Z corner or Z7, okay? Same concept. Running through that safety, holding him, leaving this guy out here on an island, okay? He's running a corner, so we still got that weave. Get head up, attack to where we're going, attack his inside shoulder, and then snap it. You can see here the corner is in pretty good position right here, right? Looks like he's outside him, but he bites on that move, takes a step forward. Can't really see it here. He takes a step to the post, and by that point, it's too late. Right now, we got leverage. We got a guy that's great at going up and catching the football. We got max protect, plenty of time. It's pretty easy 6 there. Another look at it here. Okay, we're gonna run that tight end right up through the middle of the field. We're gonna have a one-on-one matchup here. All right. Now here's a great example of why we have this dump. Right, this guy's gotten a ton of depth, and he's completely left his zone. But as soon as he sees that guy leak to the flats, you see he's like, "Oh shoot, I better drive on that thing," right? And as soon as he does, the ball ends up getting completed right over his head. All right, so that's one of the big reasons why we're going to leak those guys out. Now for the quarterback here, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at him if he just threw that ball to the flats, threw that ball to the tight end right now. You know, get that big body out in space, but he likes it. He thinks he can make that throw, and great, it works out for us. But again, you'll see Tyler get head up, work outside, work inside, snap it out. He's got that corner. It's hard to see it here, but he gets this corner. He gets this corner chasing the post. And as soon as he does that, now he has to retransition, and he just can't get there in time. We'll run comebacks, okay? So when we run this, again, we're going to hold that free safety, but we're going to throw all types of different routes at this corner. You know, we have these one-on-one matchups. Now he runs the comeback. Does a really good job with the comeback. I'd like to see him just make one move and go. He gets a little happy feet sometimes when he's one-on-one out in open field. I'd really just like to see him square him up, make one move and go. But he's dancing a little bit too much here. But again, it's just a way for us to create one-on-one matchups. Here we go again with a comeback. This is a really nice route. What he's going to do is he's going to get head up, snap it by him. When he gets about 12, 13 yards, you're going to see he's going to peek back like he's looking for the ball because he runs so many goes that these guys are very worried about him beating him on a go. So as soon as he starts looking back, now one thing guys do is they'll pop their chin up when they look back, and that doesn't look natural. So the thing we always talk about is really try to tuck your chin in and look back this way. All right, that looks natural. So as you're running, you're going to look like this. You're not going to look like this. Okay, so really tuck your chin when you look back, get big eyes, and you can see when he turns back, this guy really flies. He really buys that the go is coming. He really buys that it's coming, and we're able to get out of our break, get an easy first down. This is 3rd and long here. Looks like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. We run that comeback. We know we're going to get that one-on-one matchup. Really would like the tight end to avoid contact there and hold that free safety a little bit longer, but just by making them make the decision to play one high safety, we're one-on-one. One more look at the comeback. Again, these guys are just, when they see this formation, we throw it deep out of this formation so much that they're worried about getting beat deep. See, the tight end's very patient here, so they've got some games going on. They're trying to create pressure, with a delayed blitz here. Tight end does a very good job just being patient before he gets out to the flats, picks up that blitz. We got 7 in protection. It makes it very difficult to get to us. This is one of the protections that we ran quite a bit, and it's the reason why we only gave up 9 sacks is because we're going to help. We're going to help the offensive line out. Always have a 6 or 7 man protection. One more look at the another comeback here. You know, we saw this guy get beat for 70-yard touchdown once already. He's going to be worried about that go route. It's important to mix it up, so we won't run go after go after go. We'll run a hitch, we'll run an out, we'll run a comeback, then we'll come back to the go. You know, try to get that guy playing a little bit tighter again, and then throw it over his head again. We'll run outs as well. Right here we have hitch. Okay, it's really not a great route by the X here. He doesn't break down. He doesn't sink his hips. He doesn't keep his arms pumping. But when he has this tight alignment, one thing that's important is he knows he's got to get some width. When he's got that tight alignment, he's got to get some width so he could get away from this outside backer. That's the guy that's going to be responsible for the flats. If this guy bails out, almost always this guy's going to come out. All right, so doesn't run a great route, but he's smart here because he gets wider out of his break. You can see Tyler Hall's here at the bottom, number 13, is kind of doing the same thing. Breaks out, and he gets a little bit works away from that outside backer. So if that ball comes his way, that guy's not going to pick it off for 6. Another look at a hitch. Easy for the quarterback. He sees this overhang super tight. Geez, we have all that space. This guy's playing way off because he's tired of getting beat deep. When we run this formation, coach has been pretty hard on him at this point in the day. Turn, throw it. Easy completion. Now, I don't like Tyler after the catch here. I don't like him working back inside. One thing he's definitely got to get better at this year is just square up when he's got that one-on-one, make one move and go. Preferably to the outside where he's not going to get hit from about 6 different angles here. Just a couple more clips here. Hitch again. Does a better job this time after the catch. Now we got him on an out route. Again, just mix up the different routes. Get these one-on-one matchups. Mix up the routes. You know, if you have a guy that you think, especially a receiver that you think is just better than anybody who's going to get matched up against, you know, create ways to get him the ball in space. And this is our best way of creating those one-on-one matchups, is running a 2-back set, make teams worry about us running the football, and get him the ball. Same thing, deep out. I think I've gone long enough here, Coach.
Good stuff, Coach. I like it.
Great. If anybody has questions, be happy to answer them. If not,
you guys want to come on and turn on your cameras and your mics. Come on in and get some questions up to Coach. Are you in shotgun all the time, says Coach Goff?
Yeah, this year I think we had maybe 3 or 4 snaps that we were under center, even down on the goal line. It's something we've talked about, but you know, for us, we like the space for the quarterback. We feel like he's a little bit more comfortable in the gun. You know, maybe our next quarterback is gonna be a little bit more comfortable under center. That's something we'll certainly investigate. But yeah, for the most part, we were pretty much all gun this year.
The real question is, did you check with Coach Price before you did that?
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd want to see as much I formation as he could.
You know what? You'd think that, but you know, last year he was really the biggest. You know, his last year coaching, I think he might have been the biggest proponent of going all gun.
No kidding. Good. That's awesome. I like one thing that I noticed that I like is when you run in the shallow with dig is the outside release by the by the guy in the dig. I know we've run it a lot with like an OTV route where that guy comes more diagonal and it's inside.
Yeah.
And you can kind of work back down his stem, behind the backer. But you're right, when he releases inside like that inside backer that backer over him is going to turn his eyes to the inside and see the shallow.
Yeah, we see it a lot where he just doesn't see that track coming because he's turned away.
Right, and a lot of those guys are probably taught to wall anything in the seam too. So
yep,
same idea. They're going to turn the back way to the shallow. So
exactly.
I like that. Let's steal that. Coach Soren, you got anything down there?
No, that was good. I liked a lot of it. Especially that smash stuff, I think is really great. I like that the U routes you got. I think we're going to do that.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few
Appreciate
guys
it. Yeah.
so far on some of these clinics with that variation. I think Friedman was talking about it the other night when he did his receiver stuff about, using, snag or out or, whatever, but just mixing it up from the typical hitch route on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that little. Go ahead, Coach.
I said we'll very rarely use that hitch route for a smash concept. Now we love it when we're in that max protect stuff and creating some ISO stuff, but yeah, when we have the corner route coming behind it, I just think it's a little bit too easy for that outside backer to get there and take that away.
I may have missed this. Do you call the man routes or the U routes, or do they read that?
You mean
on the smash routes? Do they read? You call it if you want that inside out man.
Yeah, so it'll be we'll have it on we'll have it where we'll call it all three ways throughout a game. If it's a zone team, we know that they're going to be 95% of the time they're going to be in zone. We'll run those U routes exclusively that game. We really like to mix up in the snags more when they show some man. And it just goes back to the point of we want that quarterback to see that corner, chase it right now, drive on that snag route to make that read a little bit quicker. But when it's zone, we'll really mix in all three. But that's something that they'll get from the sideline. They won't do that on their own. Every once in a while they will, but not on purpose.
You guys run a lot of mirrors, or do you use some backside tags where they might be running something else? The call on one side and something else on the other.
Yeah, well, what we'll do is, I showed you a little bit of it with the smash, but our base concepts and we have the ability to tag the receivers to do anything out of those. So, for example, if we're running that drag package and they're chasing that drag with a backer and they're playing real aggressive with that safety, trying to take that dig away, we have the ability to tag the outside guy and put him on a post. When the mirrored routes, if we want something different, we want a wheel or something somewhere else, we absolutely have the ability to tag anything we want. Really today we talked about a lot of the base building blocks for us, but we have a lot that we do off of those concepts. The dump has been great for us. The dump is one I really recommend doing. He just gets those backs get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, we probably don't throw to our backs enough, to be honest.
Coach Q would agree with that for us too.
The other one I like is the post corner post route. On the back that you had. I think you call it a weave. Yeah, we call it the weave. We call it the 2-away-2 weave. You go to the release, away from the release, and then back to. We get pretty detailed with that route. We can talk about that route for a long time. We use that one when we run mesh. The outside receiver to the left kind of runs that because he's the guy we're going to hit. With the last look if the free safety rallies up to the OTD route. We throw that over the top, but because it's the last look and it's got so much time, we kind of put that twist on it where he runs the post corner post. So it's nice. I like it. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Coach, are you pretty balanced there, or would you say you're more of a passing offense, or?
It's funny. This year we ended up throwing the ball. We had one more called play. We had one more play called pass than run this year.
Wow.
Pretty balanced.
Some of those, you look back at the film and you say, geez, I wish we got to the pass sooner. I wish we didn't get away from the run. But it's kind of wild this year. It ended up 50-50.
Nice. Anybody got anything else for Coach before we let him go?
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
I'm looking at your home field there, man. It was fun playing up there the last couple of years, playing against John Back.
Yeah. I think I might have seen you a couple times too.
It's a sweet facility you guys got there. I got up there early a couple of years ago just to kind of